The day after we celebrate Independence Day, Hillary gets off the hook, even after the FBI director lays out many laws she broke. Now, it would be one thing if the FBI director said, Hillary didn't do anything wrong. She never sent or received any classified emails. Everything was signed off on. Everything looks great. So for that reason, we won't suggest charging her. But he said the opposite of all those things. He said she had several private servers. Multiple classified emails were marked classified at the time they were sent or received, which she said multiple times never happened.
I am confident that I never sent nor received any information that was classified at the time it was sent and received.
Emails classified as top secret sent on private servers. Top secret is the highest clearance level. It means if the information that is sent is made public, then it could cause exceptionally grave damage to national security. The director went on and on and on, and all these charges, all these laws she broke, and then at the end said, but whatever. We had so many veterans call into my show who had top secret security clearance when they served, and they all said a variation of this.
I've retired military. I retired with a top secret FBI clearance, and if I did 1/1000th of what she did, I would have lost my security clearance.
I'm a retired United States Marine, and I am so hot I cannot believe what has happened here. I would be in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, if I would pull anything that she has done. This is a slap in the face to every military and every law-abiding citizen in the planet.
We had one Marine call in and said, if someone sees something that's classified on an unclassified server, if they don't report that to superiors, then they're held responsible for it. Hillary intentionally did all these illegal things, and she gets off the hook. Why? Because she's above the law. Our founding fathers, when they wrote the Declaration of Independence, were influenced by a lot of things, obviously. But one document in particular was called Lex Rex. It's Latin for law king. This was the central question in the English Civil War in the mid-1600s. The king obviously believed that he is the law. Rex est lex loquens means the king is the law speaking. So whatever he says goes. Lex Rex. But Samuel Rutherford said Lex Rex. He said the law is above the king and no one is above the law. We now obviously live in a country where the king is above the law. Or in this case, the royal family, the Clinton family, above the law. Someone who's not above the law is Petty Officer First Class Kristen Saucier. He took pictures inside a submarine that he was stationed on. He later threw his cell phone away. Someone found it in the garbage, opened it up, saw these pictures of the submarine, turned it in to authorities. Kristen faces up to 30 years in prison. He'll probably get 5 or 6, and he should. The Department of Justice said that Saucier had secret clearance and knew that the photos depicted classified material and that he was not authorized to take them. Hillary did the same thing. She did the same thing with her server. She knew it was all classified, so why isn't she charged with anything? And even the FBI director admitted that she did all these things wrong, still not charged. Another thing, the FBI director said Hillary sent and received top secret documents. Who sent them to her? Why aren't they charged with anything? They broke the law too. This is a sad day for our country. I think it's a turning point in our country. We're again no longer a nation of laws. We're a nation of men. It's who you know. How can Hillary ever be trusted with classified information ever again if, God forbid, she became president? But no one will care. I'll end with this. Thomas Jefferson in 1826 was invited to travel to Washington, D.C. and be a part of the 50th anniversary of Declaration of Independence. Now, he was old, and this was actually the year he died, and he wrote a letter back saying, regrettably, he couldn't make the trip. But he wrote in this letter, he said, if he went, he would love to meet with the remaining host of worthies. That's who he called his fellow founding fathers, the host of worthies who made the bold and doubtful choice between submission or the sword. Fortunately for us, they chose the sword. And by sword, he either means like they chose to pick up the sword and fight with it, or to make the choice that will end up with their heads getting chopped off by a sword for treason. They chose sword. Why? Because he hoped, and he wrote in this letter, he hoped that their choice would send a signal to arousing men to burst the chains that bind them to submission and to assume the blessings and security of self-government. These men were willing to get their heads chopped off to create a country where no man is above the law. Is it fair to say that experiment has ended today. Now, the final check on an out-of-control government is the voting booth. Throw them all out. If the FBI and the Department of Justice won't throw them in jail, you can at least make these people unemployed.